Hey, how y'all doing there today? It's Thursday, terrific Thursday, August the 24th, year 2023. Yeah, I'm doing this just a little bit earlier than normal. I got a busy day planned. Anyway, hopefully you're doing outstanding. I've been watching a variety of videos the past few days. Some have been health related, some are financially related, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully I'm going to talk a little bit on both topics today. So with that being said, as always, I do hope you're doing great. And I am Mazske Finance, coming to you still from South Florida. That may change in the next few weeks, a month or so, but we shall see. And I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. Nothing at all. I do voice my opinion at times. I do share my thoughts and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in no way am I telling you what to do. My only goal is that all of you will gain some sort of knowledge from what I say, that you can use that, put it in your own minds, churn it about a bit, spit it back out, and figure out how you can take the knowledge I give you to incorporate it into your own life in whatever fashion. Maybe you tweak that knowledge in some way. I don't know. That's your choice, because we're all human beings. We have the freedom of choice, right? So make your own decisions, make your own choices. Just if I can help you in any which way. I know, Dustin, if you watch this, I did get an email from you. I do need to reply to you. I'll do that soon, okay? Sorry for the delay. All of you that send me emails, I'm sorry if I have a delay sometimes in replying. I do get busy. I read them, and sometimes it takes me, I say, I'm going to reply to this soon, and then I end up forgetting. But I usually scroll back down, I remember it, and I might reply later. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about investing and the importance of gut health. I watched a video I watched I think it was last night, the one I watched last night. The person in there, this was a health video, talking about the gut microbiome and how the gut is connected to our skin. Our skin. Did you ever think your gut could be connected to your skin? Okay. The more I find out, it is. It is. Our gut is connected to everything. Everything. And our skin is our largest organism. Organ. I think it's organ. Right? Because skin, it's like an organ. Just like our liver and our heart and our lungs and all that. And do you know, here's a little factoid for you. Do you know we have roughly 60,000 miles of blood vessels of all sizes, little capillaries, little thin veins, arteries, inside our bodies, the adult body. 60,000 miles. Think about it. If you prick your finger, blood comes out. If certain place you cut yourself, it's like, say you get a bloody nose. A lot of blood drips out, right? How's that blood get up there? How does it get to our fingertips? You stub your toe and you cut it, blood comes out. If you scratch your forehead, blood comes out. It's everywhere in our bodies, right? So 60,000 miles of blood vessels. So take care of those blood vessels. How do you take care of them? You eat healthy and you exercise and you sleep correctly and minimize stress. Okay? But in that video, if I didn't say it, the gentleman who was talking about the gut microbiome made a comment. What's the point? This is what he said to the, I'll paraphrase probably because I probably don't remember exactly. What's the point of being wealthy if you cannot be healthy? As soon as he said it, I was like, wait a second, dude, are you watching my videos? I say stuff like that. What's the point of getting wealthy if you can't be healthy? Because I have read since I was a kid that the human lifespan, the maximum human lifespan, they think is approximately 120 to 125 years of age. When I read it as a kid, nobody was living to be 120, 125 years of age. I don't think. Maybe somebody was, but most people weren't. They were living to be 60. Sometimes they're dying in their 40s. Back when I was a kid, my father was a firefighter. We had a scanner in the house, and I don't know how many times I'd hear a call for a male subject, 45 years of age, had a massive heart attack. Male subject, 42, massive heart attack. I'd hear that term, massive heart attack, and it's like, wow, that's the age of my dad. By the time I was a teenager, it's the age of my dad, Is he going to have a massive heart attack? But as the years went on, that changed because they had stents, and they do different things in the heart. And they do tell people, doctors might say, you can't eat like that or you will die young. You got to change. And people change. And they live to be in their 60s or 70s now. 60s or 70s or even 80s isn't 120, right? So how do you change your life to live to be 120? Do you want to live to be 120? If you cannot correct your finances, I don't think you want to live to be 120, right? I don't want to live to be old and not have income. Because at some point in time, you're going to stop working. And if you stop working, you don't want to run out of money. Health insurance isn't getting any cheaper. Health care isn't getting any cheaper, which is why, how many of you guys work jobs and your health insurance is expensive? Or it's going up every month? Or your health care is subpar, you go see the doctor and you're in app because they're not talking to you. That's how it's been, right? For the last 10, 15 years, health insurance going up and the quality of care is going down, except life extending measures, life saving measures are improving. Emergency rooms, if you have an accident, you want to go to the emergency room in the United States of America because if you can be saved, odds are most emergency rooms will save your life nowadays. 50 years ago, that wasn't the case. In other parts of the world, that's not the case, okay? So you got to take care of yourself. What is the easiest way to start on the journey to health? And here's the problem with the journey to health and the journey to wealth. Here's the problem for the majority of Americans. This is it, okay? You want to hear the secret? This is it. The problem is most people live in the moment. Most people think about tomorrow. They can't think about 25 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now. They can't fathom it, especially the younger they are, And then, but you don't have to you don't have to understand it, because just look at older people. They were once kids or teenagers or in their 20s or 30s. Next time you're out and about and you see someone in their 80s or 90s, think about it. They were at one time turned 13 years old and 16 and 17 and 18, right? It happens. We all get older one day at a time. So embark on the path to wealth. Do that by buying assets that give you a cash return. It could be dividend paying stocks. It could be real estate. It could be mineral rights acreage. Okay? And make your lifestyle healthier. Start drinking, if you so desire, a cup of tea. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 a day. I like green tea. And when I say tea, I don't mean say some of these different teas you can buy with all these flavors. Natural tea. I get it off the internet because it's better than what my local stores will have. I get ground tea and I get loose tea to brew my tea. And I get green tea. Okay, I get sencha tea a lot of times. Japanese sencha tea is what I get. And it's organic, I believe. But I drink a couple cups a day usually. Depends on what I'm doing. I drink 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day. All right, I hack my coffee with little sprinkles of turmeric, black pepper, ginger, and cinnamon. All right, get little herbs in me. Because you want to get a little bit of spices and herbs and that kind of stuff. Add it to your meals more than you do. If you can, get a little bottle of cilantro, like dry cilantro. If you buy fresh stuff, it goes bad so quick. And if you're working a job and it's hard to cook, but if you get stuff in a jar, still the shelf life might only be several months once you open it. But get some cilantro or some thyme or some oregano or some parsley, because they're all good for you. When they're dried out, they're still good for you. Sprinkle it on whatever dish you're cooking, or in the soup you're cooking, or the stew, or the meatloaf you're making, or whatever. Okay, just try to increase the frequency of eating them. Try to do something simple, like what I plan to do for lunch today, along with some other food. I'm going to take a tomato and dice it up a bit. It's an organic tomato. Because tomato is one of those vegetables, if you spray it with chemicals, they're absorbed in there, they're soft inside, they're absorbed. So you want to get organic and the best you can. Dice them up. Extra virgin olive oil on the stove. Heat it up, not too high, because keep it at low temperature. I will start with the tomatoes in there. I got some kale, I got some Swiss chard, and I got mushrooms. Now I might put a little bit of everything in there. A little bit of kale, a little bit of Swiss chard, a little bit of mushrooms. And just kind of saute it up a bit. Then I'll make something else. I need some kind of protein. I got different things for protein. I do have some beans. I forgot to put beans in my salad last night. Daggone it. I just remembered that. I got beans in the fridge. I'll put some beans in. Beans be my protein. I might have some other kind of... I've been alone in my house for about a month now, and I don't cook like our chicken or our meat or fish like the missus does. So, and because if I cook it, then I end up wasting half of it because I don't eat it all, and then I can't only eat it, can't keep eating it day after day after day. So, But our gut microbiome is connected to everything in our body. If you stress out, it hurts your gut microbiome. If you sleep poorly, it hurts your gut microbiome. So if you eat poorly, it hurts your gut microbiome. And by eating the wrong kind of food, if you eat the ultra processed foods and that kind of stuff, you get the bad buggers down there and they do bad things in your body. That's why you hear about people getting tumors and cancer and stuff at a young age, because bad things happen in their body. But you watch this channel for investing, don't you? So have you bought your first rental house? Have you bought your first dividend paying stock? Are you accredited? Accredited, in a nutshell, and I'll talk more on this in a different video, is having a net worth of at least $1 million, not counting your personal residence, or having a high enough income in 2 consecutive years. And look it up yourself, because don't quote me to it, but I think it's like $300,000, $200,000 a year for one person, $300,000 a year for a couple, something like that. And for two consecutive years with the belief that it's going to continue, and then you're considered accredited. Then you might want to get into something like mineral rights acreage, because I invest in mineral rights acreage. It's the only, I'll say this quick here and I'll put it in some future video. It's probably the only asset that you can buy to invest in that gives you a cash return that has no liability whatsoever. No tenant can fall down the steps and sue you. No liability whatsoever. No tax bills, except for tax on your profit revenue that you got to pay. No insurance that you got to pay. No property management fees you got to pay. No cash calls. You know, if you're in a syndication, they might have a cash call. You got to pay. They want some money. No cash calls. And if you buy it, if I buy acres at my age now, and I'm in my mid-50s, and the wells they have that they just drilled today, they should produce revenue for anywhere from 25 to 75 years, okay? If it's 25 years, I'm 55, 65, 75, I'll be 80 years old, right? So if it's past 25 years, I'm older than 85, gone down to 120, and that well that's drilled today is still having some sort of income. I don't know how much it'll be. Maybe it's $1 a month, but $1 is $1. Still some sort of income, all right? But more wells will be drilled. And then those wells will continue to produce revenue, and so on and so on and so on. So maybe I die and my heirs receive these wells, and they will have some kind of new technology, and they're doing a better job of drilling, and they may vaguely remember me because maybe it's a grandchild of mine, an unborn grandchild of mine. And they might be thinking to themselves, wow, my grandparents sure were nice to buy these mineral rights and give it to me, because now I'm getting money in every month from something that they bought back before I was born, right? Because that's something. Now, if you get a rental house, the same thing can happen, but you will be paying taxes, you will be paying insurance, you will be paying property management, you will be paying for repairs, capital expenditures, and your mortgage and your principal and your interest. And you will have liability, because if something happens and somebody gets hurt, you could be sued. But if everything goes well and it's positively cash flowing, and you keep a good roof on it and you upgrade it periodically with whatever needs to be done, 75 years from now, it may still be producing rent. And your heirs may still get rent checks in. But they will have to manage it and pay the bills and keep the books and that sort of thing. Mineral rights is different. Okay, it's easier in a way. The returns might not be quite as good as the rentals I get, but sometimes they're better. You know, I did get that revenue check in June for one portfolio that was like 25% in a month. 25% return, cash on cash. So do the math, 25% in 1 month. It's not a stock that'll go up and down. It's just the cash that came into my account. Okay, so year to date for that portfolio, I think I'm up 35%, which, you know, on a house, I got some house that will give me 40%, unless my expenses cost more than what I projected, then it'll be less than 40%. So, anyway, I babbled a lot in this video. Hopefully I taught you something. Remember, eat healthy, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, meaning beans, mushrooms, green tea, Black tea is good for you also. Coffee is good for you. If you can get organic coffee, it's that much better than regular coffee. And don't put dairy milk into your coffee. Okay, it does something where your body cannot absorb the good stuff in the coffee as well. If you drink it black, drink it with almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk, whatever. I used unsweetened soy milk currently is what I'm using. I have used almond milk before, and so on and so on and so on. So anyway, what's the point of this video? I still got to think of what I'm going to call it, because I babble a lot on health and wealth. Health and wealth. Get healthy, stay healthy, and work and keep progressing. Always make progress towards being wealthy and healthy. And real quick, now I'll save this for tomorrow. Have a great day. Mazke's signing out.